You know how this type of video works? It's a tier list, though there is a twist. Today, along with guest 6string TV,
It's me.
we're going to be ranking signature guitars. Your laugh indicates that you don't deem this to be as a beautiful guitar. So what's the difference between a standard guitar and a signature guitar? Not much really, other than the design process is heavily influenced by usually one person, which means that there's a stronger likelihood that you're going to disagree with what looks good and what doesn't. So, let's just hop straight into it. Like the video, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and maybe play along with your rankings of the guitars as well. Here's the video. Let's just jump right into it. I've prepared a list. We have seen some of these before in our 2 prior attempts at doing this entire tier list and then it not recording. Let's just jump in. I've replaced a few, some surprises, some ones that you might recognize. Let's just start off with this.
Guthrie.
Yes. It's a Guthrie Charvel. I have played 2 of this model. Both were very nice. What are your thoughts? It's hard to rank a guitar like the first guitar. What are your thoughts on it?
Alright, I have never played it. However, I know the specs. I know because I watched the video of Guthrie introducing it like, I don't know, 15 times. I like the fact that it has like a non-fine tuner Floyd Rose. I think it's like the only guitar on the market that actually has that. That's pretty cool. What I don't like is that it's $3,000. I don't like that.
That is a slight drawback.
Yeah.
But, to be fair, it's very nice.
It is.
We are going to be looking at some guitars that are much more expensive than this. Where to put it, though? I don't really know. Like, I'd put it as a player, it was really good. I'd be willing to put this in A, personally.
Alright, I'd put it in B just because it is very, very rather pricey.
Right, we'll put it in B. And all of these can be moved around and changed. We've started off high enough, you know, B. And I'm assuming this next one won't be. Your laugh indicates that you don't deem this to be as a beautiful guitar as Kerry King is the only one I would assume.
Your intuition is correct.
The problem is it would look good if it was just a straight V, but it's got this crab claw pincher thing.
The worst, arguably the worst part is not even in the picture, which is that the headstock is just that but reversed.
Yes, the headstock looks like that.
Yep, that's lovely. Like there aren't many scenarios where I would prefer the regular Dean headstock over anything, but this is one of them.
And the worst part is, I think the guitar specs are quite nice. Like, it's got a Kahler. I love Kahlers. Yeah, it's got EMGs, fair enough, but Kahler, and they're rare. And when you put it on something like this, it hurts me.
It's just not good. It's just E or F. I'd say F. Just put it in the bin.
It's hard to imagine that there'll be something worse than that.
Very.
So he gets put in F. This is This is James Hetfield's signature ESP or LTD Snakebite. It's essentially an Explorer with, depending on how you look at it, a bit taken out of it or a chunk added onto it. Personally, I think it kind of looks like a chunk has been added on, but I've played the LTD version. It's quite big. It's a big guitar.
So I did like this until you said that it's a chunk added onto it to make it seem like there's one taken out. Now I hate it because Explorers are already big.
I don't know if it is or not. It's just like, it depends on how you look at it. Once you hear that, then you can't look at it without the chunk.
Yeah, because Explorers are already big. It could just be the white contour against the black background that makes me think this. It does look like a U.S. state on a map, though.
Now it's just destroyed now. Okay.
Yeah.
So where are we putting Ohio on this tier list?
E, because it doesn't deserve to go next to the Kerry King abomination. That's a special place in hell. But
that's fair.
But I don't like it either, so I'd say E.
Yeah. This is a signature ESP Kirk Hammett. Now, this is not the signature ESP that everybody thinks about Kirk Hammett, but it is a signature. I don't even know the name of it, but it's like the ESP Eclipse. And to me, it just looks really cheap. Like, that's the ESP version.
If I remember correctly, it's a flat top. It's not an arch top.
Yes, it's flat gloss black, so it looks like a starter pack guitar, and someone's put a sticker on it.
Delightful. It does look like a sticker as well, because while they could have scented that beautiful spider skull design, they didn't. This confuses me. I don't know. It's not offensive per se like the Kerry King one is. I'm just confused by it.
Well, when you think about it, right, you put the Guthrie in B because it's like 3.5 grand. I'm pretty sure the ESP version was 3.5 grand, if not more, for this guitar here.
Jesus Christ.
So
I was gonna say we can put James and Kirk in one. That's fitting.
yeah. Speaking of expensive, this is, I think it's the most expensive guitar on the list that I've put together. This is the Oriente Signature PRS.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this one is like 11,000 euro, something like that. It is a huge price for. It's very pretty. It's quite nice. I like the color.
I mean,
But, like,
if someone gave this to me, I wouldn't complain. But
I think the only thing that makes it different from a standard like flamey pretty PRS though is it's got like a Tree of Life, kind of like an Ibanez Tree of Life inlay on the fretboard instead of the PRS birds. But other than that, it's a very nice looking PRS for like 11 grand.
I like it. It's pretty. I'm sure it plays amazing because it is a PRS, especially if it's like a private stock thing. What I don't like is that if you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll end up filing Chapter 11. But it's cool.
I suppose there's also the fear of once you do buy that, you can't play it because if you get a ding on it or a scratch or you breathe on it wrong.
Yeah, that's going in a glass box on your wall, and you're gonna look at that like a trophy. Except it's not a trophy. You spend all your money on that, so
It's the ultimate dentist's guitar. So with that, I would personally, I'm sure it's a great guitar and it looks very nice, but because it costs more than like a car, maybe put it in D for dentist.
yes.
Now, speaking of looking very nice, this is the Abasi Concepts thing.
Yeah, it's a Lorado or something, I believe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like look like a Lamborghini or something like that. But personally, I think this Lamborghini was in one hell of a car crash.
I love it. I love them. I think they're very cool. I see why you wouldn't like why someone would maybe not like them. They've always for some reason reminded me of a thumb, which is just very fitting for the way Tosin plays. I don't know. I think they're very cool.
We very much disagree.
All right.
So where actually no, we do agree. It does look like a thumb. That's not a compliment though. So where would you place the thumb?
So I'd put them in C. I don't know. I like the shapes.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree. But that's not a guitar for me. No, thank you. I'm having major problems with putting that over that PRS. But okay.
All right.
But the next guitar is this.
Oh, that's the new Ernie ball, the Tosin.
That's the Tosin Abasi Ernie ball. So the guy has the guitar company, but now he's got a signature guitar.
Fuck it, toss the Abasi in E and put that in C. I love it.
Okay, thank you. I agree. I much prefer this. This looks like a guitar.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a spaceship. I really like this one. Okay, if I'd known this was on there, I would have chucked the Abasi straight in E.
All right, how about this? This is a historic and important guitar here. This is the Ibanez Gem. I've chosen one of the early ones because they were in the bright colors and they got the pyramid inlays, and I think it's quite nice. Now the monkey grip, it's something that some people like, some people don't like. I had a Gem at one point. I didn't initially like the monkey grip, but then I started to like it. It's actually quite enjoyable just to be able to pick up a guitar with a handle. Like, you can't do that with most guitars.
I love this guitar. I'm tempted to put this in S tier. I'd settle for A, but yes, like this personally, I would just chuck this straight in S.
I put them in S just because like that's the beginning of the Super Strat. Without the Ibanez Gem, you wouldn't really have the Floyd that pulls up, and it's also quite nice. I just like it.
Yep.
I just like it. Our next guitar here is this. This is the Ormsby Dino signature.
Yes.
You sound very excited.
Yes. Is there a tier above S?
Oh, okay. Wow, I get called the Ormsby fanboy, but
All right,
you're,
I mean, people don't know me for loving Ormsby because I don't actually own one because I've always been indecisive and like, but if I were to buy one like right now, that would be it. Just like I love the single pickup guitars because I mean this is made for chugging clearly. I just love that like satin camo finish.
I am quite partial to that finish. I like the different shades of red.
Yeah.
In the satin as well, it makes it look a lot more like expensive. So where are we gonna place this Dino? Seeing as we both like the finish, it's probably not going to be low.
I would put it with the Guthrie one if the price was unreasonable. If you say it's like a production model, I'd be prepared to put this in A. As far as metal guitars go, like I could settle for that one and nothing else.
Yeah, I'll put that in A just because the finish, it stands out quite a bit. Now let's move on to. What do you mean I've got a green V? Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine. I quite like the color. It's a metallic flying V. Now it looks modern to me. Like most Gibson Vs look old because they were designed in like 1958 or something.
This thing.
But this
Get it away
this one
from
looks,
me.
This one looks new.
Sure. It looks new, but
Sure.
yeah, no, it looks new. It does, but you know, new does not necessarily mean good. Yeah, I'm a passionate browser of shitty AliExpress products, and quite frankly, if I saw this pop up as like sort of a knockoff Gibson Flying V, I would not bat an eye. I do like that finish. Like I love that on like a Jackson Soloist. I just can't stand it on a Gibson Flying V for some reason.
I disagree, but I do take into account that it is a Gibson custom shop, therefore it's going to be expensive. I'd be happy with C.
All right, C is the Music Man Abasi signature. We can put it there. I might call for some changes towards the end of the video. We can put it there for now.
All right, I can facilitate that if that's required. So our next signature guitar here, this belongs to someone who will sell you a book that's a PDF, and well, who do you think it is? It's none other than Rick Beato. This is his Gibson signature Les Paul Jr.
I don't love Rick Beato. I don't like Rick Beato. Love is even too. I don't enjoy Rick Beato.
How dare you? He invented music. You know the key of B? Excuse me, the key of B, it stands for Beato. Did you not read his YouTube comments? Without Rick, there's no music, okay?
Well, the note B is called H in Germany, so you know he can put that in his PDF and suck it.
It's nothing really to write home about, honestly. It's a blue Les Paul Jr. for like $2,500. It's very expensive for the barest of bones Gibson model.
This guitar is like perfectly fine. This if you told me this was like, I don't know, Billy Joe Armstrong signature Les Paul Jr., I wouldn't have questioned that either. It's the Les Paul Jr. with P90s.
I would take issue with like the price tag of it because
yes,
it does seem very expensive for the simplest format of Gibson guitars. Like the Les Paul Jr. is the budget guitar, and this is really anything but budget guitar.
I do like the finish. I don't know, Beato blue maybe. I enjoy it.
I'd be willing to put it in, I think in D, because we put another signature guitar with a nice finish in D solely because the price tag, and I think maybe D for this one too. The guitar is not in any way like, it doesn't look bad or anything. It's just it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Very
much.
simple.
I'm cool with that. Yes.
This is the Yngwie Malmsteen signature Stratocaster. It's your bestie.
Yeah.
And probably mine now at this point.
Yeah.
Where are we going to place the Yngwie Malmsteen Strat?
All right. So he's had these signature strats for a while. And he used to have.
I think he was the third. He was the third ever person to get a signature guitar, or second even.
No, I think
it was Eric Clapton.
He claims to have been the first. I don't believe that. I do believe it was Clapton, but also he claims to have invented music and everything. So, but
how dare he? That's Rick Beato.
Yeah. No, but like he says he was the first person Fender ever sent a guitar to. Like even Hendrix had to buy his own shit. I don't like the modern one. I just, yeah, again, like Richie Blackmore type scallops, they're more subtle. I like those, not the massive, like, you know those Kinder chocolate bars?
Oh, you ruined the chocolate for me now. So where are we putting Ingve's signature Kinder strat?
I'd be cool with putting it in C because, again, I intend to make to make one change to the C tier later on.
Our next guitar also belongs to a neoclassical shredder.
Ah, Jason Beckett, yes.
This is his signature Kiesel JB 2000, I think it is. I was always partial to how this looked. I think it's got the flame top and it's got the flame fretboard. It's very flamey. I quite like it. It's a nice shade of blue. I like the whole control layout. I think lots of knobs and switches kind of I like that. I think the only drawback for me is that his original one, the model that this is based off, had a Kahler, and I like Kahlers, and they replaced the Kahler with the Floyd Rose, but I love Kahlers.
I personally think that's a good thing because I learned with Floyd Rose, so I'm much more comfortable using Floyd Rose. I do love this guitar. Personally, I like the wooden one, like the one with the number inlays. It looks like a toy. I prefer that one. But this one, this is still like A tier material, honestly.
Absolutely. Just for Jason Becker alone.
Yeah.
It's A tier.
Yeah.
Now, staying with Kiesel, we've just looked at a nice one. I think it would only be fair to look at, well, whatever you'd call that. The signature, I think his name is Dan Jacobs. He's like from a metalcore.
Yeah, I think I googled it last time. It was Atreyu or something. It's some metalcore band. Like I've heard the name.
Something like that. I can't say I'm familiar with any of their stuff. I am familiar with his previous signature guitar. It was a really nice looking ESP EX with blood splatter.
All right.
And like blood drips and everything. This is not blood splatter. This is blood smudge.
Yeah, I was gonna say this looks like, I'll ruin it once as I do. This looks like Wilson from Castaway.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already ruined because the body shape is I really am not a fan of that one. It's a deformed Explorer.
Yeah, it's like an Explorer mixed with a Kiesel Type X. This one definitely belongs next to the Kerry King one, I'd say. Like, I don't even care about the specs of it. I wouldn't be caught dead playing this.
I think it's a hell of a lot worse than the stuff that's in E. Speaking of Dan Jacobs, we were pretty harsh on his last guitar. Let's look at the guitar that came out before that and see if we can bump him up the list a little bit. It was this. This was his ESP or his LTD Blood Splatter EX.
Alright, that's pretty cool. What it does look like is like you had it in your lap and it had like a very, very strong nosebleed while playing it. But it's not like the direction of the blood just looks like it came from your face while you were playing it.
Well, like it's not realistic, but I don't think it needed to be. Like I quite like how it looks. Like that is a much nicer splatter than the other one. Like that's actually a splatter.
Also just a much more pleasant shape.
Yes. Like I know you don't like Explorers, but I am partial to
this is more of a, this is like the extreme shape Explorer. It's pointy and stuff, you know. This is the cool version. I would also just put this in C personally because that is cool. I would play that definitely.
I'd be willing to even bump it up to B.
Yeah, all right, put it with the Guthrie. That's cool. That's such a contrast, you know, the Hans Zimmer guy and Blood Splatter Explorer.
Now this is the Jackson Chris Broderick signature. I've got the 7-string version, but there are 6-string versions. What's your initial impression?
My initial impression is the question that I do remember correctly. Chris Broderick is Megadeth, right?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
All right. My second impression is I'd like to gouge my eyes out.
That's a little bit extreme. What is so wrong with it?
I don't know. It's just I know it's supposed to be an offset guitar, but it's just it looks almost like it's unintentionally lopsided, like someone just drew a guitar poorly.
Oh, I never looked at it like that. Yeah, it does kind of look like if you try and draw a strat freehand and it looks like
Yeah, it doesn't, because like something like a Jazzmaster, you can tell it's supposed to be offset and not symmetrical. This one just looks like it was kind of an accident, like the CNC machine fucked up.
But I do want to make note of the finish though. It's you don't often see translucent white on quilt.
Very
That is
pretty.
kinda
If
cool.
if the shape was cool, like that's a finish that I would enjoy to have.
I was willing to put it higher until you said that it looked like a freehand drawing, because now I can't unsee that.
See, I just
It's a bit like
visually
the
ruin
Hetfield
every
being a
guitar
state.
with metaphors.
Yeah.
D has sort of become the category now for guitars that are overpriced, so I would be more inclined to put it in E because that fits more. But D is fine with me. It's yeah.
I'll put it in E. It pains me a little bit because I quite liked it. Our next guitar is that. This is the Schecter Avenged Sevenfold Sinister Gates. Or I'll say the nice things first. I'll say the nice things
No,
first.
thank you.
The nice things about it are it's got the Sustainiac in the neck.
Yes, that's cool.
Nice. And Sustainiacs can be really fun. That's all the good things I can say.
Sinister Gates has other signature models, same shape but different finishes.
Yeah, this one looks like a barcode.
Not a fan of the barcode finish. No, I think that's just a dark background we've put it on. But like right now, it just looks irritating. Like you can't tell where it starts and ends.
I'd put this in F.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I think this one isn't even an arch top. Like the regular Avengers. This is like a flat top.
No, this one's a flat top.
Yeah, not straight.
That
with
shape
Kerry
would look
King.
a lot better. The shape would look a lot better if it was an arch top. By the way, look at what happens when I make it small. It's just, no,
Yeah,
don't
no,
like it.
it's just like globs of pixels now. That's not.
This is a BC Rich. Now it's technically a signature guitar, but all the other signature guitars we looked at are signatures for real people.
And not fictional
This
characters.
this is the signature guitar for Eddie Munson, otherwise known as Netflix. Netflix BC Rich collaboration. This particular one I've got on screen is the BC Rich custom shop version, so it's like lots of money, and
$5
it does
to
have
be
the
exact.
Kaler. It's got the Kaler. I love the Kaler. Kalers are great.
Yeah.
We should probably also consider in our heads the cheaper version, where it comes with a Floyd Rose special.
Yep.
Maybe
They
I don't know what
claim they claim on their website it's a Floyd Rose 1000, but it isn't.
We're losing out on the Kaler. Big sad for me. But I do like the Warlock shape. I would have preferred if it was a neck through, like like the classic BC Rich thing. This is bolt on, whether it be the budget version or the custom shop version.
Yeah, because if it wasn't a bolt on, they'd lose out on the neck plate where they engraved the Hellfire Club thing on. So, can't have that, of course.
Just stamp it on the back of the headstock.
Also, on every plastic thing on the back of it, like the electronics cavity, the tremolo cavity and stuff, they've just stamped on like the Netflix and Stranger Things logos and shit, which that's just, I don't know, this... I hate it.
Yeah, but Netflix.
Yeah,
Everyone wants Netflix's signature
Netflix.
guitar.
Eddie Munson, yes.
Like I do like the Warlock shape. It is such a classic BC Rich. It's got the Kaler, which, as far as I'm aware, no BC Riches have in their current lineup. Actually, most guitars don't. I think Dean had for a little bit.
All right, if you gave this to me, I would keep it, right? Because I love the Warlock too. And I'm sure it sounds great. I don't know what pickups are in it, but it's the price tag. So I'd put it in D, in the category of very expensive guitars that shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So we've only got one more signature guitar.
Oh,
This is the signature Nuno Bettencourt Washburn N4. It's a guitar that's close to me because I really like Extreme.
ditto. Also, I have the N2. I don't know if there is an N3, because there is an N1 that's the very, very cheap version. There's the N2, which is the one I have.
Yes, there is a Washburn N3.
As far as I know, the only difference between mine and this one is the N4 has an actual Floyd Rose and not the like the patented one. It has the Stevenson's cutaway or whatever.
Yes.
And on my guitar there is a Bill Lawrence L500X in the bridge position, but the neck position has a Washburn brand pickup, which this one doesn't.
I've played one of the types of N something or others. It was the one. It had a pick guard. It was solid black, gloss black, and it had a pick guard. It was an unusual one, and I've never seen Nuno play it, but it did have the Stevenson's cutaway. It was quite strange because I'm used to playing with something like the back of the neck. There'll be something there. It won't just be continue on as like a neck. The Stevenson's cutaway just like continues on as a neck. It is quite an unusual one. The exotic ones I actually prefer, like the darker ones. There's like a Cocobolo. Those ones look really pretty.
Yeah, there's an N2 with like some red wood that's like really pretty, but they're hard to get your hands on.
Do you know what I will say? My favorite looking N4 I've ever seen is owned by Philip McKnight. It's in the back of all his videos, and I'm immensely jealous. It's like a green swirled one. It's like a mix between Steve Vai and Nuno Betancourt, which is kind of cool. But anyway, where are we gonna place the N4?
All right. Well, these sound killer. They play like even the cheaper ones play like butter. I cannot even imagine how well this one plays. Even though I might actually prefer the one without the cutaway. I would put these in S because that's just from an objective standpoint just one of the best guitars on the list. A at least. I don't know. Like anything below that is unfair.
It was actually like one of the first like guitars to kick off the whole unfinished trend.
Yeah.
Let's chuck it up among the
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's our tier list. This is not the first tier list we've done, though. There is a tier list that we did for amp guitar brands. That's on Six String TV's channel. I will link it.
It is.
It's probably in the top right hand corner of the screen. Throw down in the comments what signature guitars we missed.
Yeah, and insult us a little bit for our crappy choices.
Yes, insult us. Tell us how wrong we are about the Kerry King monstrosity.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.